All right. Is my screen visible? Okay, thank you. All right, guys. First of all, I welcome you all to this session. My name is Amit, and I will be your instructor for this course. The course name is Fundamentals of Linux Operating System, and we are also going to, prepare for the RHCSA exam in this course. Okay, so I'm going to show you two aspects of this course. The first one is RHCSA, or being a system administrator and doing all the system admin work on manual basis, like running the commands and all. Along with that, I'll show you the same work can be done with some sort of automation. Automation in the sense, let me give you one small example. Your manager says, add user demo on 100 Linux servers. So manually, you can log into server number one, create a new server, create a new user, log out, do the same, repeat the same process on the remaining 99 servers, right? But with the help of automation, you just type one single command and that's it. With this one single command, this user demo will be created on all the 100 Linux servers. You can just go and have a cup of coffee. When you come back, all the users will be created. Sorry, this user will be created on all the servers. All right. So I'm going to explain you these two aspects of Linux. Okay. We'll start with manual first and then we'll go to the automation part. All right. Okay. So let me just open the PPT for this session. Okay. All right, guys. So first of all, my introduction. As I've just told you, my name is Amit. I have more than 13 years now, 13 plus years of industry experience, which means I'm actually working somewhere and I'm going to teach you as well. So whatever I teach you is based on my experiences plus the course content as well. Okay. So basically I've tried my best to, you know, have some sort of my personal experience added into the PPT.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Hello. Okay, I lost your voice. Okay, guys, if you have any doubts, feel free to type it in the chat, or maybe we can have a Q&A towards the end of this session. Okay. All right. So I started as a system administrator, basic Linux skills. So in these years, I have developed my skills, and now I'm working as a automation architect, and I'm certified in RHCSA, RHCE, OpenStack. It's a lengthy list, but relevant to you is RHCSA and RHCE. Okay, and I'll be explaining you what are these certifications, what is the benefit as well, right? Okay, so since we are talking about Linux and automation, let's start with the Linux first. What exactly is Linux? What do you know about Linux? Any idea? Anyone?
Sir,
Yes,
sir, Linux is an operating system just like Windows.
absolutely right. So yes says uh, Linux is an operating system just like Windows. Absolutely right. But there is one small difference. Not small, sorry. There is a one big difference. That big difference is operating system Windows is closed source, which means you can't have the access to the source code of Windows operating system. People working with Microsoft or the people who are developing Windows, they only have the access. Okay. Also, the source code of Windows cannot be shared with others. On the other hand, Linux operating system is fundamentally open source. It is meant to be shared. It's meant to be enhanced by the world of developers, community of developers. All right. So Linux is an open source operating system, which means around the world, if anyone is interested in making contribution into the source code, maybe they want to enhance the functionality, maybe they want to add a new feature, they can do that. Normally, it's not a job of one single person to modify or develop operating system. Normally, it takes effort of a team, maybe 10 people working together, 20 people working together. Okay. So this is a very big feature in Linux operating system. People can download the source code and then they can modify the source code as per their requirements, and maybe they can create a new operating system out of it. New in the sense, maybe you have heard about Mint OS or Pop OS, Arc Linux, Rocky Linux, Alma Linux. These are all made from the same project, Linux, the open source. If you're also into development, you can also download the same. Go to google.com, type download Linux open source. You will get a GitHub link. I'll show you shortly. And you can download and start contributing. Okay. It's not a child's play. You need to have the knowledge of development, C language, C++ language, and you need to know how the operating system works. Then only you will be able to code for it. What are drivers? How to code for the drivers? So many things. Okay. So how this Linux operating system originated? See, in 1960s or 70s, uh, there was a very popular operating system, not Windows. There was a very popular operating system by the name Unix, UNIX. It was based on C, C++. It was not open source, it was closed source. And the performance of this Unix operating system was unparalleled, unmatched. Everyone wanted to have this Unix operating system at that time, and everyone was using it. It was proprietary, license based. Companies had to pay a fee to use it. They have to purchase this operating system and then use it. Okay. Now, in that era, developers wanted to create a clone of that Unix operating system where Torvalds succeeded. He was studying in a college at that time. He was fascinated by the Unix operating system, the popularity of Unix, and he decided to create his own version, or we can say a clone of Unix. Okay, so by 1991, he was able to maybe publish the initial code, the source code for for his hobby project, his hobby operating system. Okay. Initially, it was a hobby project. He was just out of fun or maybe out of hobby. He was, creating his own operating system. But one good thing he did was he kept his operating system into the open source platform, which means developers around the globe can also contribute. As I said, creating operating system is not child's play. You need people, you need manpower, you need a team. So this was obviously identified by Linus, Linus, Linus Torvalds. Okay, so Linus identified it, and this is how uh, he had a thought of just taking help of other developers also, and why not to keep it open source? Okay, so Linus Torvalds created this Linux, the core of the Linux operating system, and then took the help of the other developers to create it as a full-fledged operating system. Okay, and because of this thing, many organizations, they download the Linux core, which is called Linux kernel, and I'll explain you what is Linux kernel. They download Linux kernel as the source code, okay, and then they modify this source code as per their requirements. They enhance it, or they add new features, okay, and then re-release it by a new name, or the correct word is they distribute it by a new name. Okay, for example, Red Hat Linux, RHCL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Ubuntu, uh, CentOS, Ubuntu. Any other names? Maybe Mint Linux, maybe Pop OS. There are so many. Pop OS.
Fedora.
Uh, yeah,
Kali.
yeah, Kali. Absolutely. It was in my mind. Kali Linux, right? So the source is the same. Linux kernel is the source. Okay, so a group of developers, or maybe big companies like Red Hat, Ubuntu started as a group of developers, Mint group of developers, CentOS group of developers. Now these are big organizations. All right. So downloaded the Linux kernel, the source code, and let me tell you, this Linux kernel keeps on getting updated daily basis. Today also, if you check on GitHub, you will see some modifications were made on this source code. Okay, based on these updates, the companies are also updating their own products. Okay, so this is how you get to see so many Linux operating systems in the market. They can be 100, 200, 1000. You never know. Okay, these days, single developers with the help of AI, they are also into operating system development. They are using the power of AI to single-handedly create their own operating system out of Linux kernel. Okay, so I hope now you get the idea what is this sorcery of Linux or Linux operating system. So this is happening in the background. Okay, so out of these operating system, Red Hat Linux is widely used around the globe by the organizations. I'm not saying end user, you and me end users. No, Red Hat Linux is used, or we can say it's really popular in the organizations. For the it is meant for the enterprise. It is meant for the companies. Why? Because when we talk about company, which means maybe they have their own website. Let's say Amazon.com. So Amazon.com, this website has to run on a server. That server will be running on operating system. Operating system should be capable of handling the load. It's a really popular website. It is going to generate some serious traffic. Operating system should be capable of handling that enterprise level load, workload. So operating systems are designed in a way that they can handle the that level of workload, right? Ubuntu, primarily it was meant for desktop or personal use, but you can get a version, server version also. All right. So Red Hat, as I said, it is widely used across the world by the organizations. And if I also tell you the names of the organizations who are using it, Facebook, okay, starting with NASA. NASA is also using. NASA uses Red Hat Linux operating system in most of their servers. Facebook, Adobe, Cisco, Dell, HP, IBM. It's a never-ending list. Okay, and these are all Forbes, Fortune 500. Yeah, Fortune 500 companies. Right. All right. So this is how it works, and we are going to learn Red Hat Linux in this course. And as I said, Red Hat Linux manually and with automation as well. Right now, I'll talk about manual, and then after a few minutes regarding the automation. Okay. All right. Any doubts? Any questions till now? It can be regarding anything. All right. I'll take it as no.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
having one question. Hello.
Yes, please. Yeah. 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 Yes.
Yeah, so Red Hat and Ubuntu, the major difference, any major difference?
See, the major difference is these are two separate organizations, separate teams. They have a separate architecture for their operating system. Maybe they are using one or two separate commands also. Fundamentally, their operating system is the same. Few commands here and there are different. But once you know the fundamentals of Linux, you'll be able to work on any Linux operating system because because the base is the same, right?
Oh, oh,
Yeah. Yes, and you mentioned it right. Sometimes companies are also using Ubuntu as their test machines. Sometimes. Okay, so maybe if you are a Linux admin in that organization, you will be asked to manage it. Manage in the sense create user, update the system. Update means operating system update. Uh, Manage the security part. Manage the hard disk on that server. All these things. You will be asked to do that. Once you know the fundamentals, you'll be able to do the same all this task on any Linux operating system. Red Hat, SUSE, CentOS, Ubuntu, anyone. Okay. As I just told you,
yeah.
which companies are using this Linux operating system. So all the popular or the top MNCs are using Microsoft. Sorry, this even Microsoft. They are also switching to Linux. I'll tell you the story shortly. So all these are using Red Hat Linux operating system. So one thing about Microsoft I wanted to share was initially they were not much into this the world of open source operating system. But now, slowly and steadily, they have also enabled WSL. You know what is WSL in Windows? If you're using
Windows
Windows 11,
subsystem for Linux.
absolutely, absolutely right. So Windows subsystem for Linux. If you enable it, You can install Linux operating system on your Windows 10, Windows 11. Even this PowerShell which you have in Windows, it supports basic Linux commands like this. ls is a command of Linux. It runs fine. It is generating the output. Okay, you can use rm command to remove files. So in short, they're also trying to engage with the world of Linux, right? So very soon you're gonna get to see more of the integration of Linux with Microsoft Windows. Okay, but again, I mean, this is what I'm predicting based on the pattern, how Windows is, getting updated, right? One more thing, why the hell are we learning Linux? Maybe because you are uh, fascinated because of this Linux as an open source, and you can do so many things. Or maybe there is a demand of Linux administrators in the industry. Okay, whatever the reason is, you need to have the basic fundamental knowledge of Linux operating system. Okay, and let me walk you through the table of contents, the course content. What are you going to learn? Okay, so let's open the course content. Just a second, guys. Here it is. Okay, so RHCSA exam is the first level of exam in Red Hat Linux. If you want to prove that yes, you are ready as a system administrator, just clear the exam. RHCSA. So RHCSA stands for Red Hat Certified System Administrator. Okay, Red Hat Certified System Administrator. As a Red Hat Certified System Administrator, you will be supposed to work on these points. What are these points? Number one, understand and use basic commands. Okay, like open a file, close a file, work with uh, text editors, make changes in the file. Open directories, close, remove. Small things or basic things. Then create simple shell scripts. Shell scripts are just like a code file where you will mention multiple commands. They will run in a sequence based on certain conditions, which I'll tell you, obviously. Okay, create simple shell scripts. Then operate running systems like start, stop, a service. What is a service? Service is a program which is running in the background and it is supposed to do some job. Okay, services are running in Windows also. Okay, start stop services, identify CPU processes and kill processes, CPU intensive, memory intensive. Okay, just a second. Yeah, and maybe how the operating system is booting up, how it is starting, and how it is stopping, how you can take control of that. Everything is covered in this topic. Next is configure local storage. You can configure local storage means what? Manage the hard disk. You can manage the hard disk obviously with commands, and I'll tell you how to do that. Create partitions. Okay, and file systems like in Windows there is NTFS file system FAT32. Similarly in Linux there are some file systems which you'll be using. Deploy and maintain systems. Install a application, install web server application or maybe database server application like that. Manage it. Operating system update, application updates like that. Manage basic networking. Obviously, when you are working as system admin, you should know how the systems are connected to the network, IP addresses and all that stuff. Okay, then manage users and groups. You should be able to create users and group permissions, user groups, group permissions and all. Okay, manage security. Security in Linux is a package of three modules. One is permissions, second is SE Linux, third is firewall. So we will be covering all these three in detail. All right. Next is manage containers. This is the last. Manage containers. Containerization is next level of virtualization, which I'll be explaining you. If you know it already, it's good. If you don't know it, no worries. When we come at this point, at this topic, then I'll be explaining you in detail what is container and how to use it. how it is helping the industry, and how is industry moving to containers. Okay, this is the last point. How industry is moving to containers. This is the most critical point. If you understand it, you will also want to switch to containers. Okay, so this is the table of contents for RHCSA. Everything here is command based. Okay, so you'll be learning most of the commands, maybe 50 to 100 commands at max. I'll be sharing some study material as well. In fact, let me tell you how it works. We are going to have a 50-hour duration course, and it's going to be 1 hour every day, 5 days a week. Okay, so you can just calculate how many weeks do we need to complete the course. I'm quoting 50 hours, but normally we finish in 40 to 45 hours. Okay, it depends, guys. If you have queries, we can stretch to 50 hours, even 55 if required. If not, then we will be able to close in within this range. Okay, it's 1 hour every day, 5 days a week, and every day we are going to have a live session which will be recorded, and the recorded session is uploaded to the student portal. Okay, so next day you will find the video on the student portal and you can go ahead and revise it. Next, whatever I did during the class in the notepad or in the PPT, that will be uploaded into the Google Drive. So on daily basis, you'll get the notes. In fact, I'll be sharing some ebooks in advance, ebooks, and in fact, the complete PPT, I'll be sharing it in advance. On daily basis, I'll be uploading the notes. Notes like this is a notepad, right? This note I'm talking about. All right, so this is how it works. All right, so it will be a 50-hour duration course for the preparation of RHCSA. In short, you are learning fundamentals of Linux. Okay, so everything here is command based. Now, remember I told you about the automation as well. So let me tell you one thing about automation. Manually, you can do everything. You have commands, you can do everything, right? Any task, whatever the requirement is, you will be able to fulfill. The problem is when that task has to be performed on multiple servers, not one, two servers, maybe 100, 200, or 300 servers. Okay. So what are you going to do? At that time, if you don't know automation, then you are stuck real bad. You have to just manually log into each server, perform the command or perform the activity, log out, log into server number two, do the same stuff. It may take 1 day, 2 day, or 1 week. If you want to save your time, you want to work smart, you have to use some sort of automation tool or automation program. Okay. Luckily, Red Hat, along with the operating system, Red Hat also develops an automation tool which is called Red Hat Ansible, or we call it Ansible simply. Ansible. Okay, so Ansible is a tool which has been developed by Red Hat and it is constantly evolving. It is getting better day by day. What is the purpose of Ansible? Ansible automation tool provides you the platform where you can, you know, uh, jump from manual to the automated way of working. Okay. For example, the same, add a user. In Ansible, you have to type just only one single line. Ansible all hyphen M user hyphen A name was what? Demo. That's it. Name equals to demo. That's it. This one line is going to make sure this user demo is present on all the 100 servers. Now, this all means all the servers which are in the project, in your in your in your project. Okay, so this is the power of Ansible. Just one single line and the job is done. If you compare this one single line with the manual effort, as I said, it's a day and night difference. 100 servers means at least 4 hours you need. 4 hours continuous work without any breaks. And with this, how much time did you take to write this code? Just 5 minutes. Have a coffee, come back. The job will be done. Even fast, even sooner. Ansible connects to multiple servers all at once. And then it is going to, do the automation. It is going to automatically create the user, log out, jump to the next 10, 20 servers, parallel connections, like that. So this is Ansible. Uh, See, when we talk about Linux, even when you go to online job portals, let's say monster.com, naukri.com, you name it, if you search for Linux, mostly they're going to ask, I mean, in the jobs you see, they're going to ask in the job description, Linux, comma, Ansible, comma, some more requirements. So this Ansible is now becoming a necessity or a necessary skill for a Linux administrator. This is what Red Hat also recommends. Red Hat as a company is not recommended because they will earn money out of it, because people will get certified. No, that is secondary. The primary is they are trying to explain you that the world is moving towards the automation side. Use, sorry, learn Ansible as well. It will be a complete package. Okay. So you learn Ansible by yourself or with the help of, the online courses which we are offering you. It's your choice. But what I'm going to do is when we finish RHCSA, when we finish this 50 hours course, RHCSA, I'm going to teach you Ansible, few topics of Ansible, not the complete one, few topics of Ansible. You'll be learning Ansible uh, in a way that you'll be able to automate whatever you have done in RHCSA. Okay. So it will be good enough if you just stick to RHCSA with little bit of Ansible skills, you'll be able to, you'll be able to get your CV shortlisted when it comes to job hunting. Okay. So our objective is after learning Linux, you should not struggle with the, shortlist of CV. So you will be able to mention Linux, containers, Ansible, shell scripting in your CV, and you'll be able to, clear the interview as well. Okay. So it's all about learning. Just stick with me for the next 50 hours. And obviously, it will be like more of a practical and less of a theory. Although I have some theory part in the PPTs also, just for the interviews. Sometimes, interviews are looking for definitions and all. So for that purpose, I have that. But most of the topics are purely practicals. We will be creating a virtual machine, and then in the virtual machine, we are going to practice everything. Okay. There are multiple things to do in the course, like create a virtual lab, everything we'll be doing it. Okay. So you'll be getting some sort of exposure, how things work in the enterprise level or in the organizations. How do administrators are working? Because I am going to share my experience as well, right? So RHCSA is the exam which you can attempt when you have finished the fundamentals of Linux. If you clear the exam, you are actually proving to the world that yes, you are ready to become a system admin. They can hire you. You are ready to work on a live server. Okay. If you clear the exam, that means you are ready to work on a live server, simply put. Okay. Next, RHCE. I talked about the second exam, RHCE. If you are really into, evolving your career into the side of automation, then RHCE or Ansible is the way. So when you learn Ansible as a complete course, it's again a 50 hours course. When you learn Ansible, the complete course, you can go ahead with the RHCE exam as well. The only prerequisite or the requirement is uh, you should have the RHCSA certificate handy. You should clear it first. Then only you will be able to attempt RHCE exam. So number one exam, RHCSA, number two, RHCE. Then we have some more exams that you can pursue, which I'll be explaining you through this course. Okay. All right. So RHCE is Red Hat Certified Engineer. Okay. So Red Hat Certified Engineer, this course, sorry, not course, this exam is purely Ansible based, which means you need to learn Ansible, complete 50 hours duration course. And in this 50 hours duration, you're going to learn all of this. Let me show you. So you'll be able to learn what is inventory, modules, variables, fact, playbooks, install Ansible, install and configure Ansible, and create Ansible play and playbooks, manage. some software services, firewall, using Ansible, working with roles, and we are going to do plenty of exercises. You might feel that this table of content is small. No, it's not small. It is appropriate for 50 hours. More of it is, more of it is actually practical. So more of the practicals will be happening. We need at least 2 to 3 virtual machines for that. And I'll tell you how to create. Even with a 4 GB laptop, you will be able to create 3, 4 virtual machines. I'll show you. It's very easy. Okay. So so this is the Ansible. Sorry, this is RHCE, Ansible automation tool. If you clear RHCE exam, then you are actually proving that you know how to automate stuff. And you know what is the power of automation?
Sir, I have question.
Yeah,
Like
yes, please.
Linux and Ansible is different. Both are different and or
Linux is a operating system, okay,
okay,
and Ansible is a Python-based application
programming language.
automation. No, no, no. Python,
Okay,
yeah, Python programming language based automation tool.
okay,
You don't need to do any Python coding. I said
okay.
it's a Python based. It is based on Python, but you don't
It's
have to do
covering
any Python related.
it's covering the Python language also.
It's not covering, but it is Python based. Like Linux is based on C, C++. We are not
Okay,
going to learn C, C++. We are going to learn
okay,
how to use the Linux operating system. Similarly, how to use Ansible automation tool. Okay, so it's a Python based automation tool. It's a
okay,
application basically, right? It can be installed on Linux operating system. What is the power of Ansible? Ansible is capable of performing automation on Linux servers, Windows servers, storage devices, even network devices, switches, routers, virtualization environments like VMware, or even the cloud. You name it, and the solution is ready. The automation solution is ready. Even on the cloud, you can do the automation with Ansible. One example: deploy 50 virtual machines with RHEL 9, Red Hat operating system version 9. Okay, with, let's say, 4 CPU, 8 GB RAM, and 100 GB storage. A typical, virtual machine which you can have on a cloud. You can create all these for 50 virtual machines with Ansible. You just have to type maybe 2, 3 lines of code, not Python code. It is just Ansible instructions. You just have to write 4, 5 lines of Ansible instructions, and that's it. All these 50 virtual machines will be deployed automatically. And as I said, if you are an automation engineer, you're working in the place of at least 5 administrators who were working manually. You're going to replace them. What is this? What does this mean for an organization? They're going to spend less and get more. If the company hires 5 admins, they don't know automation. Company is going to spend more on them. Every admin will be having some salary, right? So if they add a sixth person and give the same salary as admin plus some more, maybe 50% more than the admin, or yeah, 50% more than the admin, and they eliminate the 5 manual admins, then what? The sixth guy they hired is going to take care of everything using Ansible automation tool. So that's why I'm saying, if you're working as a Ansible engineer, sorry, automation engineer, then you are actually working on behalf of 5 or 6 system administrators. You are saving cost for your organization, which which makes you a important player or a valued player. Okay, so chances are high that you get noticed every time. Whenever you do automation, everyone will notice. Okay, this guy did automation, saved our time, saved money and time. All right. So if you learn Linux, what are the profiles you can apply for? As a fresher, you can apply for system admin, Linux system admin, or system analyst. You can also apply as a security engineer. Okay. What else? There are actually 15 more. I don't remember them now. There are at least 15 more. Okay. And these profiles, I'm saying, just as a fresher, you can apply all these. All right. And if you know Ansible, then on what profiles you can apply? You can apply as a DevOps engineer or automation engineer. Okay. And yeah, so these are the two big profiles that you can apply for, and you can elevate your career to next level. Okay. If you're existingly working somewhere, having maybe 1 or 2 years of experience, then obviously just go for the DevOps or the automation engineer profile. And if you're a fresher, just passed out from the college or looking for a job, then these are the profiles for you. Okay. As I said, you don't have to search for a profile, just search as a skill on the online job portals, type Linux, Ansible. That's it. Linux, Ansible. And in the filters on the left, just move the slider to the left for fresher. Fresher in the filter. Okay, that's it. And you will be amazed to see there are more than 1,000 jobs. Alone for Linux, there are 1,000 jobs. With Ansible, it will go higher. So minimum 1,000 jobs are available at any given time. All right, so this is the demand. This demand is not generated for now. It has been forever, and it will be forever. Okay, till there is Linux operating system. Maybe in the future, after 10, 20 years, there one, uh, if any AI related or AI enhanced operating system is released, then I don't know. But till then, you have the chance, a good chance to get hired as a Linux administrator or even automation engineer, right?
Yeah, so I have one question
Yes,
here
please.
regarding this Ansible.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So is it applicable? Means all kind of Linux commands are possible in Ansible?
Yes,
Or, or
what happens is for Linux operating system, or let's say for any operating system, the commands are basically converted into modules, Ansible modules. And Ansible works with these modules to perform the automation. Okay. For example, in Linux, there is a command called user add. It is used to add a new user in the system. In Ansible, a similar module, Ansible, yeah. In Ansible, there is a similar module by the name user. So Ansible is going to use the module user and do the same job. Okay. A small task, as small as ping. Let's say in operating system Windows, you are pinging a machine to check the connectivity with ping command, right? In Ansible, there is a module called win_ping. So for Windows, there is a module called winping. It is going to do the same job. With Ansible, you can ping 1,000 machines at once. You'll get the status immediately if the machine is on the network or not. If not, then maybe it is down, and then you can maybe check the machine what went wrong, right? Yeah. So any other doubt?
one more.
Yes,
Actually,
yes.
is it say for there are 4 nodes? Okay,
Hmm.
so 4 machines are there. Okay,
Yeah,
out of the 4 machine, 3 machine is going down. So
yeah.
then Ansible will be able to detect that, like
Yes,
will
yes,
not
yes.
execute.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It will tell you the servers are not reachable. Unreachable will be the status. If the server is unreachable, then you can check manually what went wrong. Okay.
And even if new servers are up, then also it will execute the same command in the new server, right?
If the new servers are up, then you have to inform Ansible in an inventory file that I have created this new server. And then you can check for the connection.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
There is one more thing called dynamic inventory, which automatically detects a new server, and then the job keeps going. You don't have to manually do anything.
And the servers, all the servers needs to be in the same subnet, or will be a different
No, it
subnet
doesn't
or some
matter.
other?
They have to be
Oh,
reachable via network. If the servers are
oh,
reachable over the network, then it's good.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
So I want to know that after complete this course, can
Hmm.
we make a internet proxy server or gateway server?
Okay. When we say server, typically we think about a hardware, right?
Right, sir.
Hardware is just a hardware like CPU, RAM, and disk, right?
Right, sir.
On top of this hardware, what is installed? An operating system, which is going to manage this hardware. On top of this operating system, some application is going to be installed, which will do some job. For example, you just said proxy. So yes, HA proxy server, or we call it, yeah, HA proxy.
Internet gateway server.
Yeah, yeah. So HA proxy can be installed. HA proxy server application is the correct name. So yes, you can do that.
Yes, sir.
So see, the objective here is you will be able to deploy this application on the operating system either manually or via Ansible automation. You need not to develop this application. This application is already there. You just have to install it. Like in
Right.
Windows, we do using Microsoft Store. We just type the application name and install. It gets installed, right? Similarly, we can do that. Yes, with manually and automation, both ways.
Yes, sir.
Proxy servers or VPNs, we can do that.
Yeah.
Web
Okay, sir.
servers, another example. Yeah. Okay. There is one question in the chat. Let me highlight that. To become SRE, is RHCE enough? What knowledge is required? Okay, very good question. SRE is a hot position or hot profile these days. SRE stands for Site Reliability Engineer. Okay. The job of the SRE is to make sure the site means the data center. Okay, data center is a okay. Just imagine a room filled with servers interconnected with the database servers and the application servers are all interconnected through the network. So a big room with thousands of servers, you can call it as a data center. Okay, the data center has to be functional every time. The job of the SRE is to forecast if any problems can occur in the future, or just to make sure the data center is running in a better position every day. So, what do you call it? Continuous improvement, right? So in the case of improvement, yes, the SRE is going to be taking care of things. In the case of disaster recovery also, SRE has to be ready with the plan. Now, what sort of knowledge is required? Yes, operating system knowledge is required. Plus, if the site is on the cloud, then cloud knowledge is required. Plus, networking knowledge is required. Plus, security knowledge is required. Okay. Let's say that on the cloud, how to ensure disaster recovery, that knowledge is required. Operating system, what sort of disaster recovery tools are available, that knowledge is required. Networking, how to make sure network is redundant. In the security, how to make sure the entire the entire environment is secure. So operating system knowledge is just one part. I would recommend to go with the cloud and the networking also. When you learn cloud and networking, you are also learning security. So security is everywhere in OS, in cloud, in networking. Plus, if you know automation, then you are adding stars to your CV. Trust me. If you know automation, you are SRE, you'll be desirable candidate. Chances of CV getting shortlisted are way higher than others. Okay. Okay, even these days I always recommend we are in the age of AI, ML, machine learning, artificial intelligence, automation. So Linux with automation makes sense. Linux with Ansible makes sense. Okay, alone Linux is good. Okay, that's fine. If you're already working somewhere, manager is asking you get certified in Linux. Okay, do it. But if you're actually looking for a job, this is my recommendation. You can get a job with Linux also, not a problem. But with Ansible, obviously you'll be getting a higher package. Always aim for the higher package, right? Learning Ansible may cost you 50 additional hours, but it in return you're going to get a higher package, right? Okay, so and as I said, guys, Linux and Ansible, this is something that you can also learn by yourself. Ebooks are available, so many things are available. I'm here for the hand holding. Wherever you have a doubt, I'm here. You can ask me questions. Obviously, it's going to be a live session. I'm going to teach you Linux, Ansible. Uh, those who enroll in Ansible, obviously, we have an Ansible batch. Those who enroll in Linux only, we have Linux only batch. And video recordings or the class recordings are available in the student portal. If you have any questions, you can ask me during the class. We also have practice sessions every week or once in 2 weeks so that we are on track with the practice. With every course, we are going to practice some exam questions also. Okay, so I have created maybe 4 or 5 sample questions. We're going to, go through all of them. This will help you get that confidence if you are going to take the exam, RHCSA, RHCE. Okay, it will be a serious confidence boost up because we are going to cover all the complexities which you may face during the exam. It will help you a lot. And trust me, whosoever has given the exam after learning Linux, they have cleared, except one or two, which did some uh, crazy mistakes, which they already identified and cleared in the next attempt. Okay, I'll be giving you some examples when we start the class, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow. I'll be, sharing my experiences. Okay, guys. Any more questions? Any doubts? If you're working somewhere, you want to switch. If you have a doubt, let me know. I'll try my best to answer. If you're a fresher, again, the same. Objective here is simple. You will learn Linux. Second, you're gonna get a job. How? Your CV will be prepared. You will be prepared. You will be able to clear the interviews. Okay. Okay.
Sir, one more
Just a
question.
second. Yes, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, tell me.
Can we make app on the line with the help of Linux and Ansible?
Can we make an app?
Yeah,
You're talking about operating system application or mobile application?
mobile or operating system.
Okay. See, when we say app means an
Okay,
application. Application can be developed for any operating system
okay,
or for a mobile device, Android, iOS, like that, right? So first of all, we are not dealing with the app development. We are dealing with the operating system, how it works, what is the purpose. Like you have a phone, maybe Android
okay.
phone. So Android is the operating system over there. How it is working internally, do you know? Maybe not, but you know how to use it. Okay. So we will learn Linux operating system. We will learn how to use it, and we will learn how it's working internally. Okay. When you know how it's working internally, you can fine tune it. You can adjust the settings. You can do the administration level work, right? So this is what we are talking about. When it comes to app development is a development related topic. So if you want to deploy a Android operating system app, you have to know Java with some more tools. If you want to deploy iOS app, you need to know C hash or maybe Swift. These are the two programming languages from Apple. Okay, so you need to learn them. But we are dealing with operating system which is based on C++. Also, that doesn't mean we are going to learn C++. If you don't know C++, no worries. In shell scripting, I'll walk you through basic concepts of programming, how things work when we are programming, when we are coding. Even I'm sure you're going to enjoy it because we'll be using some loops, if condition. So when we do shell scripting, we're going to experience all that. Okay. But when we talk about deploying an application is pre-built. Someone has already created this application. Yes, in the operating system, we can deploy an application. For example, a database server. Okay, so yes, a database server I can deploy using this simple command. Have a look. DNF install mysql-server. So someone has already created this application and I'm just installing it into the operating system. Once I install, I can then configure and start it. Okay. I hope I was able to answer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this is it for today. This was a short demo session, what we are going to learn. And if you guys enroll, if you have already enrolled, we are going to very soon start the two batches, uh, Ansible and what? Linux fundamentals. Okay. So yeah. Any more doubts before we close? Any last queries?
No, sir.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
Gaurav.
hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yes,
Amit.
Gaurav. Yeah.
So will there be a link every day sending to us, or we're going to use the same link to join the
No.
session?
So guys,
Uh,
tomorrow we are gonna share you one unique user ID, like sorry, the classroom ID. Through that you have to join the classes. Today we shared just a link, which is a public link for everybody. From next class onward, you're getting one unique ID. You can see the videos. You can see each and everything on that link.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's a fixed link. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got it. And yes, for the Google Drive, I'll be sharing one Google Drive link, which will be, throughout the class, it will be the same.
And guys, we are official partner with Red Hat. So the people who is interested for the training as well as for the global certification, they can plan accordingly. Guys, first initially we are gonna start with RHCSA and then RHCE. It's
Yeah.
step by step. It's not parallelly.
Yeah. So I was about to answer. Yeah. Yes, Ganesh. First step is RHCSA because it's a prerequisite in RHCE also. You need to have the Linux fundamental knowledge, and then we start with RHCE. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, Gaurav.